Paid in full, title signed, and 2 months later they're back at the dealership asking what it's worth now. That's not a story about one unlucky buyer. iSeeCars tracked 18.5 million vehicle sales and pulled first-year trade-in rates across every new car on the market. The average owner abandons a new car in year 1 at a rate of 3.6%. That's the baseline. The 10 SUVs on today's list are running double that. Some are running 8 times that. I rank them by how bad the behavioral data actually is. The ones near the bottom are concerning. The one at the top is genuinely alarming. If you're shopping right now, or you already bought one of these, you want to know where it lands before anyone else tells you what it's worth. Number 10. Jeep Cherokee. The Cherokee shows up in iSeeCars' first-year abandonment study at 6.3%. That's 75% above the 3.6% national average for new cars. Doesn't sound catastrophic until you run it. Out of every 100 Cherokees sold, 6 of those owners are already gone before the year's out. The platform explains most of it. The Cherokee's core architecture goes back to 2014. That's 12 years old now, and what Jeep's been doing is layering updated software and interior touches around a chassis that was designed when touchscreen infotainment was still an afterthought. Which means 2024 model year owners are flagging panel gaps and software quirks that feel like quality control slipped somewhere between the line and the lot. You're starting at $39,350. It's real money for a compact SUV on a platform recycled past its useful life. Buyers are figuring that out within a year, and the trade-in rate shows it. Number 9. Mazda CX-70. The CX-70 sits at a 7.2% first-year trade-in rate, exactly double the national average. And here's what makes this one different from the Cherokee. The Cherokee's problem is the platform is old. The CX-70's problem is the opposite. It's brand new. New model line, $53,851 to start. Buyers who got in early are essentially paying Mazda to discover what needs fixing in year 1. But that's not a knock on the brand. The CX-5 and CX-50 have real track records. The CX-70 doesn't have one yet, and early owners are finding the resale pool thin. Used market buyers won't touch it near what they paid, and the abandonment rate climbs fast when the exit math stops working. If you want a Mazda right now, there are smarter places to be in the lineup. This model needs another year or 2 in market before the unknowns shake out. Number 8. Volkswagen ID Buzz. Recharged rated the ID Buzz B- for reliability in 2025. And on a $59,000 to $75,000 purchase, that rating should stop you before you sign. The complaints from first-year owners aren't mechanical. The electric motors are fine. It's the software. Screens freeze, warning light cascades fire for systems that aren't actually failing, and the infotainment reboots mid-drive. And when you need it fixed, VW's EV service network is still thin enough that you're looking at multi-week waits for a diagnostic appointment. J.D. Power's 2025 initial quality study flagged new model launches at 203 problems per 100 vehicles versus 190 for carryover models. And the ID Buzz is a new launch in a segment Volkswagen has never competed in before. That launch penalty is real, and first-year owners are absorbing every bit of it. The concept is genuinely interesting, but the execution in year 1 needs more work than buyers who paid $70,000 for it are willing to tolerate. Quick pause. If you found value in the first part of this list, hit subscribe. This is what I do every week. The data behind new SUV decisions that dealers don't walk you through before you sign. Number 7. Ford Expedition Max. The Expedition Max doesn't have a clean first-year behavioral abandonment rate attached to it the way the vehicles lower on this list do. What it has is worse in some ways. A 56.3% 5-year depreciation rate per iSeeCars, sitting in the top 5 worst depreciating large SUVs on the market. You're starting at $62,000 to $75,000, and iSeeCars shows you holding something worth around $27,000 after 5 years. Meanwhile, KBB's 2026 Resale Value Awards put the Toyota Sequoia at a 48% residual. And that gap is significant when you're making a decision in the $65,000 range. Fuel economy is 18 to 20 miles per gallon combined, which means the 26-gallon tank is filling past $100 regularly. Now, post-warranty maintenance on a vehicle this complex and this large hits hard, and owners start doing the math on whether absorbing the depreciation loss now is cheaper than another 2 years of ownership costs. That math is what drives early trade-ins here. Not day one regret, a slow calculation. Number 6. Kia EV9. iSeeCars puts the EV9 at 62.8% 5-year depreciation and 45.2% at 3 years. If you're a 2024 model buyer trying to sell right now in April 2026, you're looking at trade-in offers in the $20,000 to $30,000 range on a vehicle that started between $62,000 and $75,000. That's not a 5-year problem, that's a 2-year problem. The EV market moves fast enough that a 2024 battery electric SUV is being compared to 2026 models with better range, faster charging, and lower starting prices. Buyers on the used side know that, and dealers know it too. And the sellers, people who bought a 2024 EV9 and are now trying to exit, are absorbing losses that are hard to rationalize against any original purchase logic. The EV9 isn't a bad vehicle. The market it lives in right now is what makes first-year ownership feel like a bet on technology timing rather than a straightforward purchase. Before I get into the next 4, I want to flag something. Numbers 10 through 6, we're talking depreciation trajectories, software launch penalties, platform age. The next 4 are a different category. These are vehicles where owners are bailing specifically because the vehicles themselves are failing them in year 1. That's a harder conversation. Number 5. Nissan Armada. CarEdge tracks the Armada at 43.2% first-year depreciation. On a 2024 model starting at $67,395, that's a $25,851 loss before the first year is done. And you haven't even hit your first set of tires, and you're down the cost of a decent used car. The 5-year number from iSeeCars is 57%. At the current $73,721 MSRP, you're holding roughly $31,000 in asset value at year 5. And buyers in this price range compare residuals carefully. When the Armada's trajectory sits next to a Toyota Sequoia or a Chevy Suburban, it doesn't compete. J.D. Power's Vehicle Dependability Study flagged infotainment lag and transmission behavior on early 2024 Armadas. See, the vehicle isn't necessarily broken. It's a vehicle the market doesn't want to pay for on the back end. And when you're starting at $70,000 or more, that's an expensive way to find out. Number 4. Rivian R1S. KBB's 2026 Resale Value Awards put the R1S at 42% retained value, one of the worst scores in the luxury EV category. But the depreciation is only part of the story. Consumer Reports rated it less reliable than other vehicles from the same model year, and owner-reported problem areas include body hardware, in-car electronics, drive system faults, and EV charging failures. Recharged's synthesis of owner communities adds panel misalignment, water leaks at the doors and roof glass, suspension noise, and infotainment freezes. And here's the thing, some of these aren't software annoyances, they're structural. You're paying $75,000 to $105,000 for this vehicle. So when panels don't align and water gets through the doors in year 1, and the nearest Rivian service location has a multi-week diagnostic wait, the decision to sell and cut losses stops being a hard one. Recharged puts 1-year trade-in value at $56,000 to $62,000 from an $80,000 starting price. $20,000 gone in 12 months and you had a leaky door for half of them. Number 3. Cadillac Escalade ESV. CarEdge shows the Escalade ESV at 33.21% first-year depreciation. On a $118,658 MSRP, that's $41,677 out the door in year 1 before any maintenance costs hit. iSeeCars ranks the ESV in the top 5 worst depreciating large SUVs at 57% over 5 years. Starting over $125,000 on a new one and landing around $53,000 at year 5. And the math is brutal at this price point. Ownership costs accelerate the exit calculation. See, the 26-gallon tank runs past $100 to fill, and annual maintenance on a vehicle this size is running $800 or more. And the off-lease flood is real. The used Escalade market gets hit with near-new examples on a regular cycle, which keeps used values soft, which feeds the depreciation curve, which makes every year you hold it more expensive than the last. Luxury buyers in this bracket see that clearly, and most trade within 2 to 3 years to stay ahead of the post-warranty exposure. Number 2. Cadillac Escalade IQ. The gas Escalade ESV loses 33% in year 1, and the electric Escalade IQ loses 30.27%. That's $43,226 gone on a $142,803 vehicle before you've made 12 payments on it. But the depreciation isn't the part getting the most attention in owner communities. The 2025 Escalade IQ is showing up with HVAC blower failures, alignment problems, and service high-voltage system warning cascades. One documented case in Escalade IQ forums had the HVAC blower fail at 16,000 miles, and when you get a high-voltage system warning in a vehicle you paid $140,000 for, you cannot drive it until it's been diagnosed. And EV diagnostic appointments don't happen same day at most dealers. I want to be clear about where the data stands on this one. The Escalade IQ has been in market about 18 months, which means we don't have a full clean first-year abandonment percentage from iSeeCars the way we do on the vehicles below this on the list. What we have is HVAC failures, electrical warning cascades, $43,000 in year 1 depreciation, and owner forum activity that's unusually heavy for a vehicle this new. But early indicators in a $140,000 vehicle carry real weight. Number 1. Land Rover Discovery Sport. 28.3%. That is the first-year resale rate on the Land Rover Discovery Sport per iSeeCars study of 18.5 million vehicle sales. And the national average sits at 3.6%, which means the Discovery Sport is running at 8 times that number. And iSeeCars flagged it as the highest-ranked luxury model for early abandonment in the entire study. Out of every 100 Discovery Sports sold, 28 of those owners are done before 12 months are up. Not thinking about it, not running the numbers, already listed the vehicle, already took the loss, already bought something else. The reasons stack up fast. See, the Discovery Sport starts around $48,000 and climbs to $60,000, and Land Rover's reliability record on this portfolio is well documented and not in their favor. Electronics, transmission complexity, and premium maintenance costs are part of the ownership story from the beginning. When buyers get into a vehicle at this price and start experiencing what Land Rover ownership historically produces, the decision to exit comes quickly. The resale pool for Land Rover is also narrower than Japanese or American brands, so buyers in the used market know what they're inheriting when they look at a Discovery Sport with 15,000 miles on it. That awareness suppresses offers. Sellers accept them because they're done waiting. 8 times the average first-year abandonment rate. Of everything on today's list, the EV depreciation cliffs, the Escalade's electrical warnings, the $25,000 Armada loss in year 1, the Discovery Sport has the most extreme documented behavioral rejection in iSeeCars data. If that number doesn't change how you look at one on a dealer lot, I'm not sure what would. Every vehicle on today's list is a real purchase real owners are regretting. The data doesn't have an agenda. It just shows what people actually did with their money. If you want to follow this kind of breakdown as I track which new SUVs hold value and which ones the market is walking away from, subscribe. And drop whatever model you're considering in the comments. I'll tell you what the data says about it before you make that call.